to Off the Top with Skulls and Shadow.
How's everyone doing tonight? Welcome to the show. I'm here with Shadow, and we're going to be going over the predictions for the WWE Day 1 pay-per-view that's taking place tomorrow night at 8 p.m. with the kickoff show starting at 7. How you doing tonight, Shadow?
I'm doing as well as I can. First and foremost, happy New Year to all you listeners, and
Happy New
hopefully
Year.
we're in.
Hope everybody's having a safe and healthy one.
Make sure if you're drinking tonight that if you need a ride home, you call somebody that's sober.
Sounds good. Are you looking forward to the show tomorrow night? I'm actually excited. The card's pretty stacked.
I mean, it's a new concept, right? Right off the hop, start off the year with a wrestling event, like right the year starting off.
Yeah, it's definitely different than what they're used to doing, so it's actually quite interesting. So I'm excited for it, and I hope they do this every year.
It'd be interesting, yes, it would.
So we're gonna start off with the show that's on the kickoff. It was announced yesterday actually. It's Cesaro and Ricochet versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland. You want to go first on this one?
I haven't seen too much of the Sheamus and Ridge combination yet, but I like the little formation of Ricochet and Cesaro. I think it's a good mix for the team. You got the high flyer in Ricochet, and you have the low kind of swing king Cesaro. As for the other side, like I said, I haven't seen too much of them. I haven't really focused on the undercard of any show lately. But if I had to go with who I think is going to win this, I would go with probably Ricochet and Cesaro.
See, I like how Ricochet's been getting a little bit of more screen time, and he's been getting a showcase to do what he's able to do. But I feel like this is the time that they're going to start pushing Sheamus and Ridge Holland, and this is going to be used as a way to start that. So I feel that we're going to see Ridge Holland and Sheamus come out with the win on this one.
I mean, that's fair. Like, it's nice to see that they're starting to give, guys TV time, but it only took months to do it. But here we are.
Fair. Yeah, I mean, I like how they're starting to give more people time. It does make a difference in the show because it does keep it more interesting. You're actually seeing different people. You're not seeing the same people every single week.
Yeah, but how many budget cuts did it take to do that? Anyhow.
Why you gotta bring that up?
Because I'm an ass.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, you're an ass. Definitely, I can agree with that one.
Hey, moving on.
So let's move on to the next one. This to me, it's a throwaway match. This really doesn't need to happen. This is the Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss.
See, this match should be at the midpoint of the pay-per-view because everyone's going to need a piss break. Like, so maybe it will, maybe it won't. I mean, how we're reading it, it's probably not going to. But if
everything else besides this match and the Edge versus Miz match is a championship match, so it definitely could be.
This is true, right? We're just reading it how we see it, right? But if it's starting in the order that it is, it's not worth it. But I think if they're smart, because like you said, it's a throwaway match, you got to put it mid card, just for the purpose of allowing people to get their beverages of choice. Need to use the washroom. I know WWE won't admit it, but that would be the time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a throwaway match only because it has Madcap Moss, not because it has Drew. Because Drew is one of the workhorses for WWE, and I am never tired of seeing him in the ring.
I'll agree that Drew is a workhorse. He's literally the pandemic workhorse, if you will. He carried the company through a very uncertain time. 100%. But unlike you, I am definitely tired of seeing him on my TV.
Well, I mean, they are trying to find a way to get him put back into the main event picture, so that's probably why we're seeing more of him than what you're happy with.
I mean, I'm not saying Drew's bad. Don't get me wrong. He's great. at what he does. I'm just tired of seeing him because I feel like the character needs kind of a revamp.
Well, hopefully they'll get rid of the sword and go back to his old music, and then people will be happy with that again. That's the one thing I can see happening.
Okay, yeah.
For me, I feel, I mean, Drew is definitely going to win this. They're not going to put it on Madcap, even though we know Happy Corbin's going to be at ringside.
Hmm.
I still feel that Drew's going to win this. No, like, no doubt or anything.
Yeah, well, exactly. Um, so you just said who you thought Drew was going to win,
Yeah.
correct?
Yep.
I think just for a little bit of pop, and it's going to be well, not pop because nobody cares, but a little bit of story
Surprise.
development because you know Corbin's going to be involved somewhere. I think that Madcap gets the win. I don't think it's a clean finish by any means of the word.
Okay. Fair enough. You want to announce the next match?
Yep. The next match we have slated here is the Raw Tag Team Championships. RK Bro, which is the current Raw champions, versus the Street Profits.
All right.
I can't say without a doubt that between the four of these men in the ring, it's going to be a great story in that match.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
everybody that's there is great at what they do. Like, no issues at all.
100%. You have the literal living legend right now, because I don't care what anybody says, Randy Orton is a living legend at this point in his career. With three younger guys, he's the ring general in that case. But this match is going to be really good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, with the four of them, I mean, Montez Ford never disappoints. I definitely would think we're going to see some development in the story between Riddle and Orton, because I feel that a breakup is coming sooner rather than later.
Right.
So I definitely feel that there is something going to start happening now, and that's the reason why I think the Street Profits are going to win.
If the Street Profits win, they'll be, what, 5-time champs at this point? Or 4?
Well, they were the Raw,
Right?
and then they swapped to go
Oh,
to
right. They
SmackDown.
swapped. Right. So this will be 3
I
then.
think it'll be 4 because I think they count that as 2. The swap.
Okay, so it's either 3 or 4. We're not 100% sure on this swap situation.
So yeah,
Okay.
I could see the Street Profits winning as long as there is character development between Orton and Riddle. If nothing
Yeah.
takes place, then RK Bro is keeping the belts.
Okay. I feel that I can see like you said, if there's a little bit of development in them that causes any disturbance in the match, it'll be between Riddle and Orton,
Mm-hmm.
and the Street Profits are going to capitalize on that 100%.
Correct.
Now I'm going to take it a little bit my way here,
Okay.
and I'm going to say it's going to be a straight, clean win for the Street Profits because I think the Raw roster needs them as the champion, while Randy and Riddle are a tag team. I've said it before on the show. They're still not a natural team. They have great chemistry. They're great entertainment wise, but there's still a lot of discrepancies in the match itself when they wrestle. They're still not on what I would consider 100% level of a tag team.
Does Orton ever have a natural tag team?
Him and Edge were great together.
Yeah, but was it a natural tag team?
I think so. At the time of when they happened, yes.
Rated,
If you would
rated
do
RKO?
if you were to do it in today's wrestling, no. But when it happened, yes.
Yeah, because Orton is built so much as a single
Differently now,
wrestler.
yeah. Right. But when it happened for rated RKO, that was great at the time because at that time there wasn't even that many tag teams around. It was a lot of just singles or big matches that made no sense.
True, true.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with Street Profits clean win.
All right. Next matchup, we have the opposite brand, the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, with the Usos, who are the current champions, defending against the New Day. I mean, obviously, this is going to be a great match. No doubt about it. Always is between these two teams.
the natural chemistry of these men in
Yeah,
general.
I was just gonna say, just the chemistry between these two teams is just unbelievable. Now, that being said, is it time that we finally see the title switch hands? Because the Usos have had it for quite some time.
They have, yeah.
But
I think they're what, almost 5 months at this point, or 4 or 5 months at this point.
are we giving it back to the New Day again for like the 14th time or whatever it is?
I say we do.
And does this finally lead to the breakup of the New Day? If they do.
You're gonna break up the New Day if they win the championships?
I mean, they've been teasing Woods going heel with the King Woods and everything else, and
Right.
you can't like they need to do something different. He's the only one that has not won a singles title yet.
I get it, but he also is. I mean, I think in the natural progression of wrestling, it's time for the New Day to say, "Okay, time's up.
Right.
We had a run. You've already split Big E from the group, and now it's just Woods and Kofi carrying the New Day name.
Mm-hmm.
It's just time. Kofi in himself could either go back into singles, maybe even go to NXT to help some guys, like we've seen with like AJ and stuff go down. And I just think that we're seeing the point of Kofi's career maybe starting to wind down. Like, he's still in great physical shape. He still can go, but I think he wants to kind of start winding down.
That's fair. That's fair. I can definitely see that. Especially, didn't he just have a new kid recently too?
Well, I mean, I think so. So there's some family factor there, right? Like, I'm sure he wants to be there with his. I believe he has all sons at this point. I don't think he has a daughter. I could be wrong, but I know he wants to be father time because he's on the road for a lot of it. I'm sure the pandemic played a big part in it.
Mm-hmm. Being able
You
to spend
know,
more time at
and
home and everything.
right, and I think we're seeing that Big E is smashing his ceiling, and now I think it's time for Woods to do the same. Kofi's been to the top of the mountain in many different ways. I think it's time to let the younger two of them go.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that the Usos are going to keep the belts just because of the bloodline, and they're going to keep that looking strong. So
Right.
that's my opinion on it.
I think I want to see the New Day get it again, but I also don't mind the Usos because when the Usos have the gold, I mean, they're literally one of the best tag teams on the planet. Right? Like, if you ask me a top five, the Usos, the New Day, and there's a couple other tag teams that are not in WWE, but we're not talking about that I think are right up there. So, to me, I'm going to go Usos as well. Maybe not for the bloodline thing, but just because they're better in that perspective. They always seem to have the New Day's number for a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Either or, I don't care about the outcome because either team coming out on top is just great for the company.
Yeah, it's going to be a good match either way.
I think it has potential to be the match of the night.
Interesting. Now we're going to come to the other non-title match of the night, Edge versus The Miz. This match, I am actually very excited about, just because the fact that I love Edge.
Who doesn't?
But the build to this has actually been pretty entertaining. I just think that we're going to see Beth Phoenix finally get involved in this. Because you're going to have Maurice be down there, try to get involved, and she's either going to cause Edge to lose, or Beth is going to come out and prevent that from happening. So there could be a lot of different things going on with this one.
Yeah, I like the promos between Edge and Miz lately because it's even caught the attention of people that aren't within WWE. It's caught like just the promos going back and forth has just been entertaining. They're already too great men on the mic, and then their skill that what they both can do. Arguably, I don't like the Miz, but you can't argue with how entertaining
Yeah,
he is and how good of a wrestler he is.
I don't like him
For a
either,
guy
but
that
yeah, you
started
can't
in
argue.
reality TV, you can't argue. He's worked and worked. He deserves his spotlight. I think he's another guy that wants to wind down too. And I mean, he's got many opportunities outside WWE.
Yeah, I mean they have the Miz and Mrs. TV show.
Yeah, and I'm sure Miz could do Hollywood. He's done it.
Mhm.
Um, like it's a great all around for the crowd for the crowd having these two go head to head. Edge bringing back the Brood thing again. I'm still trying to figure out where this is going because now this is the second time in like 6 months he's done this.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. Like we all know Edge wants to wind down again, but leave on his terms. So maybe it's just him paying homage to his
Gangrel.
past. You know,
It's bringing out the side of him that he normally doesn't want to bring out.
exactly. Right? It's still intriguing because there's no real explanation to it. Edge hasn't explained it.
Right.
It's just happening.
Yep, I agree.
And a lot of the audience, for the most part, unless you're like ourselves, don't know what the hell the Brood is. So it's also making people go, and going onto their network and going back to the early 2000s and be like, oh, this is what it was. They're seeing some great, tag team matches back then when it comes to that. As for this match, I'm going with my boy Edge. He's coming out on top.
Yeah, I feel the same thing too.
But I do agree that I feel like this is setting up for Mania because now we're going into January. Mania season's just around the corner.
I don't know
We're
about
gonna,
I don't know about Mania. That's a little far away. I think
what is it, 4 months now?
yeah, it's in April. I think that
Right.
they'll have a mixed tag match at Rumble, and then you'll be able to see all four of them again in the Rumble itself.
Either the mixed tag match, or you're going to see Beth versus Maurice kind of continue the storyline. Oh, I'm fighting for my husband's honor. Oh, I'm fighting for my husband's honor. You know what I mean? Like something along those lines that will
Yeah,
lead for this story.
Maurice can't do a singles match though.
I mean, she
Beth
probably
could.
could.
Beth could. Maurice, I don't think she could. I think they do the
That's
mix. I
fair.
think they do the mixed tag match, and then that keeps everybody fresh for the Rumble. Because you're gonna need women for the Rumble anyway, so you have to feel Beth is coming back for it. Because of how many they have recently on the
Right.
show. So
I think this Rumble is going to be really intriguing,
correct.
considering. But we'll talk about that when we get to that podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think you might be right there. That there's going to be not interference, but there will be distractions. I won't necessarily say interference.
Right. Something's gonna happen, whether there is interference or it's a distraction. But I think
Oh, maybe Gangrel will pop up.
you never know. What's the next match on the card?
The next match on the card is the Raw Women's Championship: Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan.
I'm actually curious to see how they're going to do this because they've built Liv Morgan up so much as this sympathetic babyface that just can't seem to get it done. I really don't want to see her lose again unless she wins the Rumble after. Because if she doesn't win the Rumble and loses tonight, they're never giving her the belt.
They're going to bury her. So what you just, I know this is not what you're saying, but how you just worded that is if they don't let her win tomorrow night, they're just going to bury her. She's going to fall back down the deck.
Unless she wins the Rumble.
Unless she wins. Okay. See, this is tough
They're
for me.
probably going to do it again if that happens to where Becky finds a way to cheat to win.
Right. See, I enjoy Becky Lynch. Obviously, she's been entertainment for the last 3 years, as whether she's champion or not.
Well,
But then
no. That's all she's been. Is champion.
Right.
She
Yeah,
hasn't. When before she left, she was champion. When she came back, she was champion the first day she came back.
not even
She
first day, first 20 minutes. Yeah.
she has never not been champion for the last 2 years.
Like, I understand the build that Becky got and the push because everybody was behind her, but I think a lot of people are now getting sick of what they created. WWE gave in by giving us Becky as champion and then letting her. Oh, I don't want to even say organically grow up because they really pushed her in that time. Like, she was beating the likes of Ronda Rousey and Charlotte in the triple threat and stuff like. To me, that's a little far fetched for Becky. It wasn't reality at that point. I like it because it's a huge pop at the time, but I don't like it now. Looking back, I just think it's time for WWE to give a refresh to the women's division by letting Liv carry maybe into just to Mania and have Becky win the Rumble or something, like setting up something big there.
Mm, I think somebody else is going to win the Rumble, but like I said, we'll leave that for the next pay per view.
Right, but you know what I'm saying with that though.
Mm-hmm.
Let Liv won't be a transitional champion, but maybe just kind of let her refresh the women's division, have some new challenges.
Right.
Becky is like Bray Wyatt. She doesn't need a belt to do what she's doing. You don't need Becky to have a belt to be relevant.
That's a sore subject. Bring up
But you know what I mean? I mean, I'm always going to bring them up, no matter what.
Wyndham.
You know,
Wyndham.
well, we're talking WWE, so it has to be political.
Yeah, there's rumors he actually might be coming back.
Yeah, I've been hearing them too. It's just wild. Well, I shouldn't say hearing
Well,
because nobody's
we'll
actually
we'll
said
touch
it to
base
me.
on that after we get through the
Yeah,
subjects too.
but I'm going to go with Liv just for the refresh of the women's division.
Yeah, I want Liv to win, so I'm gonna pick with my heart on this one.
All right, so next up we have the triple threat. Oh no, excuse me, the Fatal Four for the WWE Championship.
As of
Big
right
E,
now, it's a fatal 4-way.
yes, as of right now, if you follow along at WWE or you're on Twitter, you know that Seth Rollins had tested positive for COVID.
Right,
So
but there's
right
a
now it's slated as a Fatal Four. It could change to a triple threat. It could also still be a Fatal Four with a random addition being added. We don't know.
all
As the
right.
time of this card, it's a Fatal Four.
So let me start off this before we actually get into this match. There are rumors out there that Seth doesn't have COVID, but that was used as an excuse to pull him from the MSG show because they knew the person who attacked him was going to be there.
Oh. But then I'm going to be that guy because I'm already annoyed. The following night, I was supposed to go
Because
to that show in Toronto and watch that. So I don't know. I understand what's going on up here. That's different. That's probably why they pulled it from what's going on up here. I'm just being salty about it
but
because
once
I wanted to go.
they had him announce that because of that.
Right.
And then
But
that's
I'm
why
just
you
being a
couldn't
salty
put and
fan.
that's why you couldn't put him on Monday Night Raw the next night
Hmm.
or any shows up until the pay-per-view.
I mean, I can see that. But like I said, I'm just being a salty fan because I was supposed to go this past Wednesday
Yeah,
and watch a WWE house show, but I couldn't.
that was
So
because of the arena and WWE. That wasn't just
yeah, I know. I
they
know.
want to protect the wrestlers for.
They just want to protect everybody. I get it. It's
Yeah, they put out new protocols today too. So
same here. I'm sure if I'm 100% sure if there wasn't a pay per view this weekend, this might have happened still. But WWE also has to protect their investments.
mm-hmm.
Same with our arenas; they need to protect their
Employees.
staff.
Yep.
So I get it. I get it. We're here. I'll be going in March. So
All right.
all right.
So back to this match. Um,
Yes.
I can't. If this match goes on the way that it goes on, the 4-way, I am excited to see this, and I swear, as much as I've hated what they've done with Big E, with his title reign, because it really hasn't been that great, put the damn belt on KO. Put it on him. Like, that's what I want to see. I want KO to walk out as champion tomorrow night.
I mean, you're already giving him the luxury contract. Why not give him the belt to go with it? We don't know what that contract entails. We just know it was a big contract.
Right.
Was it, oh, we're going to give you the belt at day one? We don't know. I'm hoping so with you because, well, he's a fellow Canadian. You just love the guy.
I love his character. I love what he's done. And, like, yes, am I happy he's staying? Yes. Would I have been mad if he left? Absolutely. But that still doesn't take away from the fact that everything he's done over the last 2 months has been amazing and a killer on TV. He has been must watch anytime he comes on that screen. And I just think it's time to give it to him again.
Yep. No, I agree. It's been what, 4 years since he's been a champion? Like the company champion, not just Intercontinental US.
I believe it has been. It's been a while.
Because the last belt he held was the Universal Championship.
And that was when Triple
Finn had to go down. Yeah. So it's been about, oh, no, it would be 5 years at this point. Because this happened in 2016.
Yeah, it's been way too long.
And as of tomorrow, it'll be 6 years. But yeah, no, I think KO did it right. I don't think he ever intended to leave WWE. I think he played his hand properly and was given what he wanted because they knew giving him up to go to Rival would not go well.
Mm-hmm.
So I truly think we'll take all that out of the mix. We'll take the politics out as well. I think KO leaves tomorrow night. He won't pin Big E though. It won't be Big E that takes the pin.
No, it'll be Seth Rollins.
It'll be Seth.
Because it's a
It'll
storyline
actually
about
be
how they work together, they're friends now, and everything else. It makes sense. Because then you can start setting up Seth versus KO for Mania.
Yeah, you can, and I think that's what happens.
Or Seth versus KO at the Rumble. Like,
yeah, 100%. Like there's a bigger story to be played here.
Correct.
This is just a stepping stone into it.
And
but Big E is not walking out day one.
Unfortunately,
no chance.
I don't think so. Last but not least, the main event, which definitely has to be the main event.
Potential.
It is the man, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, versus Brock Lesnar.
I'm going with my fellow. Hey, listen, I'm going to go back to back here and go with my fellow Canadian to walk out champion.
Oh, thank you for choosing him, because
I want Brock.
You're gonna be wrong.
That's fine, but I want Brock to be champion,
and it's not gonna happen because it's been an entire plan the entire time, and Paul Heyman is coming back and is going to help Roman keep the belt. It was a ploy to where they fired him, and he's going to come back and help him keep the belt.
See, I want to say I hate you because you're probably right in this instance. In my heart, I know that that's probably what's going to happen because really, why do you need to put the belt on Lesnar again? Doesn't make sense when Roman is literally the hottest heel in the company in the last,
you don't.
I want to say 15 years.
And they're going to set it up so that they fight each other again in Mania.
I don't think I want to see that at Mania again. We've seen that. But I'm still going Brock.
That's fine. We each have our own opinions.
Just because 100%. This is why we do this, right? That's what we're not the same. We're not yes men. We have two different opinions on pretty much a lot of it. I think with the way Brock's coming out now, I like the comedic side. Like he can actually talk on the mic now. He's showing that he never really needed Heyman, which is nice. But when he was in the company before too, when he was a major role player, I guess you'd call him, he needed a mouthpiece because he was just all action. That's what you wanted from him. You didn't need him to speak. I'm just enjoying the content. Like I had just watched. I must have missed it at the time, but I just watched the whole little segment between him and Sami Zayn, and I just died because he's sitting there. Well, you're Canadian, right? You're from where? Oh, Montreal. Okay. And then he talked French, and I just died of laughter. I like how Brock is. He's from Minnesota. Everybody knows that. Well, at least most of us know.
Minnesota.
At least we all know that. But he now resides in Canada, and I think he takes pride in being a Canadian citizen now.
That's the Canadian
which is,
city in the U.S., Minnesota.
Yeah, the Canadian state.
Sorry, Minneapolis is the city. Correct. My fault.
Yeah. Wow, you're the American, and I'm the Canadian. All right.
Because nobody really says Minneapolis. Everything is just Minnesota.
Yeah, that's fair. It's just like when you say Toronto, you don't assume like the round GTA part of it either. You just say Toronto, and it's just what it is. But yeah, I'm just.
Oh no, it was Brian Elliott. Thanks for the pass right to Alexa Lafreniere. Put the puck right in the open net. Nice.
This man's watching hockey while we're doing a wrestling. Okay.
I have the sound off at least.
Yeah, there you go. Canadian teams aren't even playing right now, which is driving me nuts.
Well, that's because they.
Yeah, it's because our government's a joke. Yeah, no, I'm just enjoying Brock. This incarnation of Brock has been pretty fun to watch. I want to see him as champion just because I want to see where the entertainment value goes. But I also don't. But I'd love to see him and Sami Zayn as a tag team champions. That'd be hilarious.
I don't want Paul Heyman to get back with him because I'm afraid we would lose Brock talking.
Right. And to be fair, I don't know if I want Paul back with Roman either. But I could see Paul maybe working with what's that kid in NXT that's huge right now?
Braun?
Yeah. That'd be huge. I think it would do Braun wonders to have somebody like Heyman.
Now, that is something that I could see happening near the end of this year. And then,
we have like 4 hours left in this year.
No. At the end of 2022. Sorry. Dumb. At the end of 2022. Because then you could have Braun Breaker debut at the Rumble, win it, and challenge Roman at WrestleMania and be the first person to pin him since 2018.
My man, you think Roman Reigns is going a whole other year without being pinned?
Yep.
Holy.
Because no one deserves the credentials and the clout that they would get from pinning him if it's not somebody that you're trying to push for the future. You don't want to give it to somebody that's already built themselves up. This is something that you could use to strap a rocket to their ass and bring them to the top instantly. Because Roman has not been pinned since 2019.
Right, and if you're going to
imagine him going 3.5 years without being pinned? And
I couldn't.
The first person to do it is Braun Breaker. How instant stardom that would be?
Right, and they don't want another Taker incident happening. Brock didn't need that pin. They don't want it to happen again.
Everybody wanted it to be Bray.
Yeah, no, I understand who everybody wanted it to be and this and that.
And then Taker wanted it to be Roman.
But that's what I'm saying, right? WWE.
Brock.
What? Listen, I'm not. Let's take out Mark. Let's take out Brock. Let's take out Wyndham. WWE dropped the ball with that pin. They don't want another. Going off your theory, they wouldn't want another Taker 2.0 scenario.
Right, and that would be giving it to Brock again, or giving it to Drew next year in the UK at SummerSlam, where the pay-per-view is supposedly going to be.
Okay, so I want to touch back. Okay, so who's your winner of this match? Yours is Reigns?
Oh, Reigns is keeping the belt.
Okay, I'm saying Brock.
He's not losing for a year and a half, and you think I'm going to take?
Listen, hold on. I'm going to go with Brock and he's going to end the pin, blah, 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 blah. Now, that's that for our predictions. I hope you guys enjoy them. I hope you have your own. We're always here to listen. Now, going off your theory, I don't think that Reigns carries the belt until you say. He will lose it, but he will not be the one eating the pin.
That's stupid. Then you lose everything from it.
Right, but he's already technically lost in the last, year and a half, 2 years.
Not on TV.
But it's still there.
No. No one counts house shows.
I mean, you remember when WWE dropped the ball with that with AJ Styles in the United States Championship?
Oh, when he won it at the house show?
Yeah, when it was an accidental win and they had to live up to it because somebody broke it.
Yeah, that was an accident. But Roman has not been pinned in any of those matches. He may have gotten a loss, but you're not changing the title and taking the title off of him, and then you're losing it. The person who pins him should win the belt. Not just get him pinned for the hell of it.
I just think that there's something going to happen in the next 6 months that has Reigns losing the belt.
To who?
I don't know. Maybe somebody that's coming back at the Rumble.
Who?
And I hope so. If that happens,
Who?
I hope he takes that ball and runs so far away from WWE as possible with it.
Wyndham?
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to give him the belt. You just said that earlier.
No, they don't. But I don't need Reigns carrying the belt either.
Yes, you do. You have to acknowledge the tribal chief. We the ones.
No.
We the ones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
We the ones.
No. Just no. It's just not happening. No.
That's the next T-shirt I'm getting.
All right, you get that T-shirt.
You already have.
I know. No, I don't have the T-shirt.
You have the bloodline.
Or do I?
You have the bloodline T-shirt. Oh, you have the poster.
I have the poster. Yes, it hangs up on the wall, right next to my beautiful CM Punk shirt. But
yeah, I almost wore one of my new shirts that I got, but tonight's WWE predictions, not something else. So I couldn't wear one of my new ones.
If I was on camera tonight, you'd see that I'm wearing the Blueprint. So.
I'm wearing Alexa Bliss. I got my Alexa Bliss shirt on. First time I'm wearing it.
You go, I can't see it. So.
I know.
But I will not accept and I will not acknowledge Roman Reigns.
Acknowledge me.
Yeah, I'll acknowledge my foot up here. Okay. Anyhow.
I can't remember what I was going to say we would acknowledge. Oh. I don't remember. No. Never mind. What were we talking about before when I said we would acknowledge it after we're done?
When we end it, we'll figure it out.
Was that about who I said we would...
Yeah. We were just talking about... Yeah. Women's and men's.
So I feel...
But...
I feel with the Women's Rumble, we're going to see a surprise return that most people are not expecting. And it's going to lead to possibly the person winning it.
Okay, we're going to have to talk about this off air because that's for another podcast anyways. But
nice little tease in for the next one.
I am Shadow.
I'm Scouse.
About the top. And we hope you guys have a very safe and enjoyable New Year's. And enjoy wrestling tomorrow while recovering from your hangovers or just a night out with friends. And make sure you stay safe.
And if you ever want to, we have a Discord server. You can come check us out there. We do predictions for pay-per-views. And it's just a good old time. We hope to see you around soon. Have a good night, guys.